Welcome to making a pinback button for your Pokemon. I'm going to start with the actual button itself. We need to kind of trace the size on a piece of paper so that we have something that will actually fit inside the clear plastic. So trace carefully and slowly so that you get a accurate circle that represents about the size of the pinback button. That's going to change here in a little bit because we actually have to make it a little bit smaller so that it fits inside, as you'll see here in just a second. But once you've got it traced, then begin cutting. Not a bad circle. Okay, now the cutting process, as you can see, it fits okay, but some of it's sticking out because it's slightly too large. So what I want to really stress is that when you cut very, 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 very thin pieces of paper off of it. You want to slowly manage the size of the circle because if you cut it too small, it won't look right. So just notice that little skinny piece of paper that's hanging off the edge as I'm cutting. I'm barely taking any off. Taking your time will ensure that you've got a more accurate insert. Okay, so I still have some sticking off the edge. So I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm actually going to take my scissors here and see if I can just cut off that piece that is sticking over the edge there because it's just not fitting inside. So I'm going to cut very carefully. I don't want to scrape my plastic. I don't want to scratch it. So I'm cutting very carefully. Make sure you're using some scissors that are the right size and the right sharpness for your age. If you need some help from an adult, be sure to ask them. But it's taking me so long to cut these little pieces off of here because I want it to fit in there perfectly. So let's see if it does. Getting there, I'm able to push some of the paper into it. That'll help it grasp the edges of the button by just a little bit of pressure there. Let me see. Okay, yeah, it fits. Now I have the back on there. Okay. Seems like it fits perfectly. Great. Now that I've got it, I need to actually take it apart because I'm going to draw on that piece of paper now that I've got the size correct. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my original drawing. I want to focus on the head. I want to just go for the face on this one. So I'm going to draw the face again on this piece of paper. Add a little bit of ink once I get it drawn on there. Now for the color. I'm using Sharpie marker, but you can use any kind of marker you want. And then I use color pencils right on top of the marker to get some of the other colors and shading in there to make it look a little more interesting. Finally, finished product. Lots of nice color in there, coloring right on top of those markers, but I didn't want to cover all of the marker. I actually wanted to use the marker as the basis to kind of shine through the color pencils. So I did a little bit of shading in red where the yellow is in the background. Then I went to the pink part of the background where I color the marker in and started with a little bit of turquoise and then some dark purple on top of that. Let it stay nice and light and pink around the tiger head. And when I finally got done, I put some lines on the outside just for a little bit of make it more expressive. Okay, to really emphasize that head kind of popping out of that pink area there. And then on the face, shadows aren't always black. Sometimes shadows are dark green. Shadows take a whole lot of different forms and shapes and colors. So, it comes from observation. Look at the shadows around you sometime and see, is the shadow really black? Well, I went back and used some of that turquoise for the shadows underneath the eyes and shaded in a little bit with a deep red for some of the lines that make the tiger look nice and mean and tough. Okay, and left the parts of the tiger's face that kind of stick out, the forehead, the chin, some of the cheek muscles, the parts that stick out, I left them the brightest so they stand out more. Okay, hope yours came out nice. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're able to wear it soon, proudly, as a kind of reminder of good times with your kit from the Art Museum of South Texas Pokemon Camp. Bye-bye.